Tone it down there, baby. I think that looks good. I'm using my point and shoot right now because people were like, that camera looks better than the other camera. And I'm like, yeah, if I had the right lens for it, because if you look at this camera right here, right? This lens that I'm using is what they call a 17 to 50 millimeter lens. The lowest aperture that's on here is a 2.8. This right here has a 1.8 aperture, so it's gonna come out a little bit crispier. But if I was to put a 1.8 lens on here, it would look ridiculously insane. Like the Sigma 16 to 35 is a 1.8. I would love that, but it doesn't have what this has, which is called optical stabilization. I don't know if you can see it on here. Yeah, you can see it on there. Optical stabilization. I keep that on because when I'm vlogging, I hold the camera like this, right? Sometimes I have it on a vlogging stick or something like that, but the lens is pretty heavy, so I pretty much the majority of the time I just have it in my hand like this with a mic on it or a mic on me, because I'm trying to exercise myself with having a mic on me instead, because it's so easy to upload it in an Adobe Premiere and synchronize the sound. That's what I'm doing right now with my microphone. I like to have a semi-professional sound when it comes to my videos. This camera is a certified amazing vlogging camera that's been used by many throughout YouTube. Followers of up to 20 million people following them, who are getting at least anywhere in between 5 to 10 million views on their videos, and they're using this little vlogging camera. Isn't that insane? That's why I desired this camera. I bought this camera in 2017. It came out in 2016. I bought it 1 year later after it came out. Watched tons of videos about it, but I felt like I needed a DSLR with something with interchangeable lenses, because there's many things that this camera could do that this camera cannot do. And being that I've become a camera crackhead, which started in January of 2016, that's when I started doing YouTube. I started broadcasting some stuff about what was going on over there in Chicago, because it was around that time where Chicago was wild, and it still is wild. I mean, you can see many videos that surface into YouTube that it shows these kids out there living like it's the wildlands, like it's the wild west, and they're out there with their guns, selling their drugs. It's sad what I see out there, and I'm praying for the best. I'm praying for change. Something got to change out there. You have a lot of cities throughout the United States that are just crazy and insane. So I started my YouTube channel like that. Right after that, I was like, listen, I don't want to be using my phone. So little by little, I started looking up $200 cameras, $300 cameras. And then I said, you know what? I need to wait a little while and stack myself some money and get myself a real camera. So I went with a whole year without having a real camera. I was studying the game throughout the year, watching tons of videos. I got something that I could afford, which was a little, what was the name of that camera, Vic? Sony HDR. And I only made a couple videos off of it.
It was something pro. It was nice.
Yeah. It is. Matter of fact, I think I have it here. Where is it at?
Next time we go to a water park, can we use the Hero?
Yeah, we're gonna use the Hero. I upgraded my sports camera, but this was my first camera that I purchased outside of my phone, and this camera was dope, and I still own it to this day. I could have sold it a long time ago. It's the Sony HDR AS50. What I use it for now, I call it my spying camera, because I could hide it in my hand like this, and a lot of people wouldn't even notice that I had it in my hand. I really like this little thing. I was watching a video today of a guy who has a channel called Camera Conspiracies.
Okay, I have to admit, this lens just pisses me off. I just get irked, like Urkel from that show, The Family Guy, Family Matters. I love that show. Come back, Urkel, I love you. I don't know what annoys me more, the lens itself or the fact that people recommend me to get the lens. Both are just so irritating, makes my skin itch.
It was pretty much downplaying the Sigma 16 to 35 1.8, which is a lens that I want to get, but I would only use it for home settings because it has no stabilization. I can't run around with it. And I'm also looking up what's a better lens for this, because this lens is pretty heavy and has a lot of clicking noise. But I've learned to just use my little lavalier mic that I have and own. It's a Rode mic which attaches to my phone, and it's an amazing little microphone. I've been exercising myself with it a lot. What?
Oh, when I finish my math homework, can I play a game?
We're downloading 2K19. We got it at 50% off. All my games that I bought this year is at 50% off. I told Vic, I said, listen, I'm not buying any more games for the rest of the year unless we get Spider-Man. We got to get I want to play Spider-Man.
There, you okay?
Not really. Electro, Rhino, and now Scorpion are all on the loose. Okay, I'll keep tracking Electro.
My next endeavor is, outside of getting a full frame camera, is to look into some lenses. I'm trying to go the D4 Darius way. I respect this kid so much. That kid, I couldn't believe what I seen in that video. This kid said he used a 60D since the day it came out, which came out in 2010, August 26th of 2010, and he's been using that for the past 8 years.
If you've been following this channel, you know that I use a Canon 60D. It's an 8-year-old camera, and I'm using it right now, actually. Why am I still using this old dinosaur?
And I didn't even know it, and he was making films with it, films that won awards. He has a film called Unsound right now, if you go check it out. I think it's called Unsound. Is it Unsound?
You have no idea what you put him through, do you? He's trying to save you from yourself, and you were just kicking him in the teeth.
I'm not in a rush to get all this stuff, all this tech. It's amazing to me. You could do a lot of stuff with it. It's incredible what you could accomplish with these things. But I'm not in a rush to be spending money that's unnecessary. I think I got everything that I need except for, okay, I have this microphone right here. I've had this even before I bought a DSLR, and I was using it with my phone when I got my G7X Mark II because the sound was better. This right here is a little shotgun mic that goes on top of my camera, and it's wonderful. I think that it's time to upgrade to a professional microphone for my camera. Let's see what Amazon has it for here. $319. That's too much. $319 is a little bit too much. I really want the Pro Edition because it has the rechargeable battery on it. I think this is the one. Pro R Plus. Oh yeah, this is the one right here. And this is the picture I like to see, because you see here, that shows where the battery's at, the rechargeable battery, and that's what I want. A lot of them you have to put little batteries in it, and I don't want to deal with all that. I want something that I could charge over and over and over again. Pro Plus going for $248. I'd rather go to B&H than to use Amazon. I like to keep stores like this alive. I love B&H. I love to challenge myself because it only makes you a better person when you challenge yourself. And I'm happy with what I've accomplished thus far. The next 3 years are going to be an adventurous year. Hopefully we do big things. I can't wait. See you next time.